Hello and welcome members to another VIE case study discussion. I'm Bradley Pellegrin, your host and VIE ERG officer, and today I have with me Mr. Ryan Whitman from Exelon Utility here to discuss his company's ERG and their work with Operation Safe Haven. How you doing today, Ryan?
Good, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you, my friend. Why don't you tell us about your ERG and your partnership with Operation Safe Haven?
So to start out about EMAC, which is Exelon Military's Actively Connected, our goal is really just to spark employee engagement around different diversity groups, make sure we're being inclusive of different groups, different perspectives. With the difficult work we do, it's important to keep a different mindset, make sure we address any gaps that we have, we do the work safely, efficiently, continue to innovate as a business, right? So our military group specifically does all the same thing as all the other ERGs. They increase employee communication, they make impacts on the community, they help with professional development, and they help guide people, within our Exelon's thing is empowering the communities we serve, right? So we try to get out there, have an impact in the community and leave it better than we found it.
Yeah, I see here in the case study that you guys do a lot of work with housing and equine therapy, peer-to-peer coaching, even yoga therapy and some outdoors events. But you've had a recently pretty tremendous success with Operation Safe Haven. Can you kind of tell us how you got the corporate leadership to buy into that project and tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was the president of EMAC. I've recently brought on board Thomas Cappuccino, who was a Navy nuke guy, is a nuclear engineer that works at Atlantic City Electric as well. He's taken over as the president, and I'm now the the chair of the board of directors that kind of helps him guide the ERG from behind the scenes. We're both in Jersey. Our territory and our ERG covers Delaware, DC, and New Jersey because of the way Pepco Holdings is laid out. But us both being in Jersey, we were looking for areas of opportunity within our local community and what we could get involved with. And we found this Operation Safe Haven, who's a 501c3 that, provides these things you see on the list here: housing, equine therapy, coaching, life coaching, physical therapy, etc. For veterans from South Jersey that maybe are down on their luck or transitioning, out of a situation into another one, transitioning to a new career, some different hobbies they could get involved in, introduces them to some other members of the community. And we've really, we tried to get, I've reached out to them and asked, what can we do? What can we get involved in? And we came up with a list of projects, essentially, things that we thought would be feasible. And then we talked to our executive sponsor and say, hey, I think we figured out a creative way that we can do some of this stuff just from level of effort. And then, hey, they're saying they also have some outage issues. There may be some capital dollars we can spend here too and invest and not only help our capital portfolio, but also, increase the experience for this customer, right? Who's also,
so you're able to use capital assets to invest that. Yeah, tell me more about how that
so there was some
possibility.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's some outages at this site. They said they experienced a lot of outages, and that, every time there was a storm, the lights would flicker. And, they had some issues with an overhead riser coming into their meter pan. So what we did was we talked to some of the corrective maintenance groups that we have that have a capital blanket for some of this work, and started figuring out where their transformers were, what they were really using them for. And then we got some engineers to donate some of their time through our Powering Communities portfolio, which is how we volunteer. We made them all registered events. They volunteered their time. We got engineering designs done. We figured out from talking to plan accounting that we were able to capitalize, additional tree wire. So we put jacketed tree wire in and new transformers pre-COVID, right? There's not any transformers to go around now. But, we put new transformers in, new poles. We got crews from Delaware out there, crews from New Jersey. We got one of our business partners, Riggs Distler, to actually donate some of their time and material to do the new overhead riser because we didn't have a way to capitalize that. because it's customer owned equipment. So we leveraged our relationship with our business partners there to get that piece of equipment installed. You know, I'm the manager of the smart meter project. So we installed a new smart meter at the same time, just got one of them done. And, you know, we quadruple dipped on this thing. Everybody that volunteered their time to either help with the engineering design, figure out the accounting, make sure it was charged right, get it approved, all got volunteer hours towards that. So at Exelon, any volunteer hours that you log go towards volunteer awards, which go towards charities that you have registered under your own name under Powering Communities. Mine happens to be the EOD Warrior Foundation because I was bomb tech. So all my time, not only did I get professional development units towards my PMP certification, but I also got money donated to the EOD Warrior Foundation because of my time, and Operation Safe Haven got you know, new assets and improved living situation out of it. So
wow, so you really capitalized on this thing for everybody.
Yep.
That's fascinating. How many people? This sounds like a lot of moving parts. Okay, so how did you organize all of these different working crews? Are they all a part of your ERG group, or did your ERG group have to do outreach to get buy-in from people outside of your ERG committee?
Yeah, so they're not all part of the group. Most of it was me leveraging relationships that I had from other ERGs, reaching out to them, seeing how they wanted to get involved, me reaching out to engineers and accounting folks that I knew from being in project management at Exelon. Essentially, I offered people, you know, project management experience within the ERG. Anybody who was interested in it kind of came on board to help out. And then, you know, me being a project manager by trade, I could kind of be there to assist and say, hey, you know, why don't we do this? We'll have some action items. We'll set up regular meetings. We'll draw it out. We'll have a drawing so everybody can see it and understand what we're going to do. And then we'll just keep picking away at it, you know?
Yeah. So from start to concepting the idea that you could do this, till the project reached its successful completion, what would you say the timeline looked like for that? And if you could, you know, expand upon that in phases a little bit.
So it actually was pretty accelerated. You know, I should say we had the idea for a while, but a couple people tried their hand at it and didn't seem like it was far enough along that we could make an impact. But I took it on myself in probably September, October of 2021. And we actually did it on Veterans Day of 2021. So it was only about 6 or 7 weeks from when we started the planning and figuring out how we were going to do it to the day that we actually executed all the projects the first go around. We've done this twice. What I'm talking about mostly right now is the first time we went out there.
Your second, you've done this twice for Operation Safe Haven?
Yes.
Okay, so there was already some pre relationship building with some of the other units in Exelon to get some resources out there.
The second time around, yeah, we built a laundry room, but all the tree wire and the capital dollars and everything was the first time we went out there.
Yeah, that's excellent. And how did you guys hear about Operation Safe Haven? Did someone bring it to your attention, or, you know, I'm interested in people that are doing the kind of work that you're doing, how to find ways to reach the community if they don't have an immediate source to find them somewhere to assist.
It's really just talking to people that live and work in the communities. One of our ERG members that lives in South Jersey just had a relative that had been there at some point in time, and they knew about it. And, you know, we were looking for veteran organizations to get involved with. You know, they need to be a 501c3, so we're glad that that worked out and they already had that in place. But yeah, our members, just from living and working and being part of the community, understood that it was there and available as a resource.
Excellent information there, and I appreciate that, Ryan. And, you know, beyond the obvious benefits to Operation Safe Haven that the members will see whenever they look through the case study, and obviously the benefits to the ERG and Exelon company, how after the successful execution, did this kind of help build the growth or camaraderie in your ERG? Did you notice some significant differences or?
Yeah, absolutely. Our members all got new skills out of it. You know, everyone learned how to build stringers for stairs. They learned how to frame walls. They learned how to do electrical. They learned how to do drywall. You know, some folks learned a lot about, you know, how professionals do tree trimming because we brought Asplund out and they did some like
Oh, wow.
some professional like tree clearing and tree trimming. So we got to do all sorts of stuff. We wired up, you know, electrical panels. We were replacing transformers, you know, showing people how meters work. You know, there was a tremendous impact to what we do as a business, right? Because it was our bread and butter work, right? So some of the folks that are schedulers and accountants and back office folks maybe learned a little bit more about the work that happens in the field, the electrical side. Some folks that are engineers learned a lot more about how we account for assets from the accounting side and how we were able to execute some of this stuff. But then we got like home skills too, right? Lighting, plumbing, drywall, you know, how to put in a window. Some people got to try some things for the first time that they never thought they could do. And we got some chances to work with other individuals on our teams that maybe we don't necessarily talk to every day. But now we have this relationship with them like, hey, you remember we went out there and we built that stair of stringers and we solved that problem together. And then, you know, we have this awesome Mexican food truck out there too. So like we had lunch together, we broke bread, you know, it's just those relationships and those like, you know, almost like those nights in the military of like you've been through these terrible situations together and now you're sitting on the top of an ISU 90 watching the fireworks in Baghdad, you know, like it just forms these crazy relationships you know, that you can't really get without doing hard work together.
Absolutely. I mean, sounds like a win all around. You get to make some friends. You get some PDUs to go to your professional certifications. You get a day off work. You get some cross training, and then you get to have to add some moral fiber to the boot from being able to help some people in need.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan, so much for taking the time to meet with us today and adding a voice to the case study that you created. If you have any questions, if you want to learn more, reach out to the VIA website, reach out to myself, or reach out through the contact us page, and I can get you connected with Ryan, or we can talk about ways that you can expand your ERG's experience through giving back to the community. Ryan, thank you again. Really appreciated your time today. Any parting comments?
Nope. I just appreciate everything VIE does for, you know, veterans and, you know, this community, I think can help us all along a lot. So thank you for everything you're doing and for all you officers volunteering your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for setting the example, and hopefully it creates some inspiration throughout the member base. Pleasure having you and look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Have a good one, sir.
Yes, sir.